Good afternoon once again to all of the participants and our resource person. Today, in this third session, we have Dr. P.K. Pathak. Sir is a principal scientist and head farm management post harvest technology division, ICAR, IGFRI, Jhansi, UP. Uh, and Sir is going to deliberate on forage desensification, storage, and transport. Sir, you may start. You are visible and your presentation is also visible and you are audible also. Can you go to the next slide so that it moves because it's black screen right now? Can you move to the second slide?
Is
Hello,
it
sir?
visible? Is it?
No, no.
Okay.
Right now there's a black screen. Can you click on the PPT, then move to the next slide? Or you can do one thing. You can stop presenting and start again like the way I showed.
Is it okay?
No, no. Can you stop presenting and start again? The play in the window where you saw my face, go to that window. Go to that window and then click on present now. Click on present now and choose a window. The same way. Hello, sir.
Yes, wait a minute.
The window where you used to see my face, the meet window. Click on present now. And choose the window option. Yes. Please start the slide.
Is it okay? Hello.
Yes, 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 yes. Please, sir, continue.
Okay, friends. Thank you for inviting me. I am Dr. P.K. Pathak, Prabhakant Pathak, Principal Scientist and Head of the Division at Indian Grassland and Fodder Research Institute, Jhansi, and heading Division of Farm Machinery and Post Harvest Technology. And thank you for inviting me for this lecture on forest densification, material handling, storage, and transportation. So friends, before starting the topic, we should know what are the problems associated with the forest production. Because there is so many competition of forest crops with food crops for land requirement. The process is very labor intensive because the crops you are going to handle with a fodder having bulk in nature, quantity is too much, so it requires labor, and then it is time consuming also, because when you are going to process grains or seeds, it will take some lesser time, but when you are going to handle crop residues, it will take much time than compared to the seeds or grains. So it also require high capital for processing, and enormous variation in seed size and type is there. You can see the large seeds as maize, hairy seeds in Dinanath, Anjan grasses, and fluffy grass seeds. Many more grass seeds are there which are having many variations in their seed size and type. So characteristics are totally different from handling with forage crops or with that of grain crops. So present scenario, what is present scenario in fodder handling? Perhaps you know how we are storing paddy straw and wheat straw. Paddy straw is generally stored on ground without any protection or cover to avoid the rain, and it it is still burnt in the field due to combine harvesting. You always heard that in TV or other places, radio, that due to combine harvesting, paddy fields are being burnt and it causes environmental pollution. By chance, this year due to COVID, we didn't hear and the environment was free from pollution. So, but still the practice is burning in the field after the combine harvesting. So this is the present scenario for paddy straw. Similarly, for wheat straw, the farmers are storing in different types of structures. Some of them are temporary structure like this one, and these are also temporary, but these are very good structures which can be made very compact manner. So this can handle for more than 1 year or 2 year, but this type of the structure, this can be used for only 5 6 months or as per requirement of the wheat straw when you have to feed. So what is the problem? The density of wheat straw, you can see it is around 65 to 70 kg per meter cube. It means it needs some compaction before storing. And you cannot easily handle this wheat straw or even this paddy straw because due to their nature of bulkiness. And even you cannot transport, it is not easy to transport on the road or highway because it is also uneconomic. And you can see on this tractor the wheat straw loaded, and it covers most of the road while traveling on the highway. So the problems with harvested forest crops and roughage, you just I described that it is low density and high volume. Density may range from 10 kg per meter cube to 70 kg. 10 kg means there are so many crops like Stylosanthe samata. It has only 10 kg per meter cube of density. And in case of wheat straw, when you chop it or thresh it, the density goes up to 70 kg per meter cube. And there are varied physical shape and size. When you are storing maize crops, that is whole lengthy crops. When you are storing paddy straw, this is complete crop. But when you are going to store wheat straw, its nature is very small, 2.5 to 3 centimeter. After threshing, you will get wheat straw. Then higher production in monsoon season. This is also most interesting fact that, excuse me,
क्या हो रहा है
uh, there is higher production in monsoon season.
अमित के पास कौन गया किसको भेजा था साहब
Hello, there is some
अमित के पास किसको भेजा
disturbance.
था
Please mute yourself.
क्या बोले डॉक्टर अमित चौधरी के पास गए थे क्या बोले फिर याद
May I
दिलाओ उनको
continue?
आज फोन किया था बोले वो आज
So after higher production in monsoon season, you need to care it also, which needs drying for safe storage for making hay. Then it has low nutritional quality, digestibility and palatability is there. Then what is the need of the day? Today we have to conserve the fodder resource scientifically to mitigate the losses occurred in various steps and reduce the cost of handling, storage and transportation. Serve timely to needy group in case of natural disaster. You can see that while natural disasters, we have to supply material. Just like in case of human, we can supply different packets of the food material. But in the case of animals, we cannot supply due to their bulkiness. So after that, to enrich the value of roughage, this is also need of the day because it is not nutritious many way and strengthen the economic power of the farmer. Then how to conserve resources? Perhaps there may be one solution that by creating a fodder bank in each district, we may conserve our forage resources. Why so? Because to provide timely supply of the feed to the most affected area in the country and to serve as community-based feed bank. Then what is fodder bank? फॉडर बैंक का मतलब क्या होता है, ये थोड़ा समझने की जरूरत है. जनरली वी रिफर दैट baling, densification, and storage. So this is some misconcept regarding the fodder bank. This is not just baling, densification, and storage of bales, but fodder banks do not provide 100% of feed requirement. You can see that the requirement of throughout the year, if you consider 100% of requirement, but our fodder bank cannot provide your whole year requirement, but it supplements for the available dry season. There are always 2 to 3 months or even 4 months there are dry season, that is lean period, that may also called lean period, when you do not have even green fodder, or even you do not have the fodder, dry fodder for the animals. So the fodder requirement is not for the whole year during the fodder bank. It is cluster of technology and not the baling densification. Technology may be many more, like leaf mill technology, baling densification, and many more. There are so many technologies. So they can be utilized all year, but are designed to bridge the forage scarcity of annual dry season. Just I told you, there are 2 to 3 or 4 months for annual dry season when you will not get the good quality fodder, so you can store for that, and you can design fodder bank for that time. So there may be sub classification of fodder bank. You can herd live fodder bank. It includes planting of high quality fodder species, especially legumes, planting fodder trees, bamboo along the road, proven technology like silvipasture and other afforestation scheme may be called live fodder bank. Then come to the dry forest. Our concern today is dry forest and edible crop residues and silage-based fodder bank, which include the densification, storage management, distribution of crop residues, natural grasses, top feed, and other feed resources to meet the seasonal, regional deficit and requirement during natural calamity like drought and flood. So, by storing, conserving these forages, you can meet the requirement of calamities and your seasonal or regional deficit. Then in Indian context, where we are talking about food security, we should also think about food security to maintain the buffer stock for our livestock. This is urgently required because many a time you can see in Bihar, in Kerala, there are flood situation nowadays, but we cannot supply uh, animal feed for them, but government are ready to supply the food for the human. So it is necessary for animal that we have to maintain the feed security or buffer store to supply in this natural calamities. So this is possible only by conserving and storing the available crop residues, natural grasses, top feed, and other feed resources. So friends, there are certainly some principle how you will make the fodder bank in Indian context. In my opinion, benefits are directly harnessed by the farmer. It means you have to share the benefit, or the group of farmers, not by the middleman. Then general practice today, general practice, what happened? Excess of production after keeping for self-utilization is sold to the middleman at comparatively very low price, who resell as per market demand and higher price. What does it mean? It means that during the production of the main crop, what middlemen do, that they purchase at very lower rate and they store wheat star, paddy star, they store for themselves for the lean period. Actually, you can see that they are already making their fodder bank. But we have to think as a whole for the country, for our area. So the general practice is the middlemen are already storing while purchasing during the crop season. So we have to restrict the role of middlemen. Then we have to transformation of raw material into various finished product. We have means we have to add some value so that it may enriched with the nutrients. Then it will restrict the migration of rural mass, just like now in pandemic situation. If you are going to establish such type of enterprise, then you can back stop their labor at their villages itself only. So restricting migration of rural mass means employment generation is the also an scope for farmers. Then establish micro enterprise in crop residue, fodder and grass collection at village level. It means there is an opportunity to establish micro enterprises at village level itself. Then function of fodder bank. What have to be done with the fodder bank? From the bank, a needy farmer can deposit his share. Means what are the activities of fodder bank? Just like a bank, the farmer who is in need, he will deposit his share, withdraw as per his requirement, and even he can sell his share, or even he can take loan from the bank with a promise to return with interest in term of fodder only and not in case. Whenever he will get fodder from his own field or from his collection, he may deposit in the fodder bank. So this is in my opinion that in a fodder bank we can do this type of things. So single farmer cannot do this type of management. So we have to, in Indian context, we have to manage community-based fodder bank. What are the benefits? It will generate employment, prevent migration, enhance income, reduce wastage, enhance food and feed security. Why food and feed? Because when you are maintaining feed security, ultimately it will give food you too. Then improves livelihoods for low income groups and empowers women because most women are engaged in the livestock production. So we can empower women, add the value to their commodity, and give self satisfaction for doing their own work. Because the work is of the farmers on oneself, group of the farmers, so it will give the satisfaction to them that we are doing our own work. So size of fodder bank, how you will calculate, how you will determine size of fodder bank. So conservation and storage system leading to fodder bank are designed especially for 3 to 5 months per year, because these 3 to 5 months are the lean period you have throughout the year, and it is generally derived for 1000 SU of livestock, because we can assume that there is 1000 adult cattle unit in a village. So we can calculate for this thing. At last, I will show you some calculation for 100,000 SEU. Next is in farmer condition, space requirement of dry, loose, and wet straw. That is only calculation that for 1000 SEU, for 5000 storage period, you will need how much area, how much volume, that is not area, 37,500 meter cube. For dry loose grasses, you need to have, and for wheat extra, you need to have 20,000 meter cube volume area for storing wheat extra. But while densifying these things, you can reduce it 3 to 5 times, and around 12,000 meter cube space is required for belt grasses and around 4,000 meter cube for densified wheat straw. So we have established some cost and saving in space by experiment at IGF or HRC, that around approximately 75 to 72 to 94% of space can be saved by densifying. And storage cost will go for around 8 rupees per quintal to maximum 15 rupees per quintal. So this is old data, but anyhow, you can see the trend, how it looks like that. Then component of fodder bank, while we are asking about establishment of fodder bank, you should know what component, because I told you earlier that it is a cluster of technology. Cluster of technology. Fodder bank is not only densification or storage, but it is different technology. You should know it. One, your technology is available are the baling technology, leaf mill technology, feed pallet technology, silage technology, complete feed block, urea treatment, chopping, and hay making, and many more as per regional requirement may be selected. So there are so many technology, basket of technology you can select for making fodder bank depending upon your area, region or season, so that you can establish a proper fodder bank. So in case of wheat straw, there is always problem, because its size is only 2.5 to 3 centimeter and you cannot densify it. So it needs some binding agent. Binding agent means molasses. जस्ट लाइक जैसे आप लोग जानते हैं कि लड्डू होता है, लड्डू को गुड़ के शीरे में बांध देते हैं, वैसे ही व्हीट स्ट्रा को यू कैन मेक मिक्स molasses with wheat straw around 10 to 15%, and then you can compact it. So you can see here in the tractor trolley, this is compacted wheat straw mixed with molasses. And there is a unthreshed wheat straw can be baled without any binding agent. What happens? You can see due to combining in the field, there are around 10 to 15 centimeter length of crop are left in the field itself. So this type of chopper and loader comes commercially, and you can harvest this material left in the field. After combine harvesting, it will collect automatically in the trolley, and after collecting, you will see that the length of the wheat straw here, when you obtain, it will be more than 6 centimeter, and you can directly bale this material from the baling machine. There are maybe so many type of baling machine, stationary type, moving type, like that. So you can use. So unthreshed wheat straw, which can be baled without binding agent, but it should have length more than 6 centimeter. And there may be complete feed block, contains wheat straw 40%, berseem or hay 20%, molasses, and concentrate mixture, mineral, and vitamin 1%. There may be different techniques which you can make complete feed block for having food protein around 10%. Then again, when you bale, you have to store. And there are different type of storage you have seen, which are being practiced in the country. But after baling, there is an option to store your bales at a platform which may store up to around 3 meter or 4 meter, not more than that, because it is not easy to handle more than 4 meter height. So you can store it on such platform so that bales of 10 to 13 kg of weight and around 110 to 150 kg per meter density can be made and stored, and around one platform of 9 by 3 meter length and width and up to 3 meter height. This is 3 meter height. You can store bales of crop residues or paddy straw around 12-ton material. This you can store per platform. So baling saves 3 to 4 times of storage space, and transportation cost is also saved by 2 to 3 times. So I have given some benchmark or information about different techniques, technology available. But when we are going to establish the fodder bank, you have to select some specific products also. What are those products? Depending upon technology, that might be densified blocks, bales, and blocks or bales may be of different types. That may be of grasses, crop residues, even leaf meal block or complete feed block you can make. Then pellets, feed pellets you can make, wafers made, and silage, hay, leaf meal, and other value-added products like urea-treated crop residues, mixing molasses, and leguminous fodder. All this you can select for establishing your fodder bank. And if agreed by the members, because this is community-based fodder bank, if agreed, then you can grow leguminous green fodder, and that can be used for producing either for sale or for conserving as raw material for adding the value to the roughages. Because when you are producing leguminous green fodder, you can add to wheat straw, you can add to rice straw, or even you can add to other materials so that value of your product can be increased. So this depends upon your selection of the products. So you come to see some baling technologies. This is mobile densifying machine. It is visible here. You can use these machines. It can move from one field to another field, but constant is you have to feed from here the collected material, and then bales will come outside. Then there is choice of automatic baler. If materials are cut down in the field, then automatic baler, which have higher capacity. Means higher capacity means I think it may collect 1 ton per hour capacity also. So there are automatic baler, mobile densifying machine, and even hydraulic type block making machine. This block making machine generally used for after mixing the wheat straw, or this can be used for making leaf mill blocks also. You will see that leaf mill blocks that will not need any adulteration or any mixing like binding agents, molasses. So by this machine you can make, simply you feed the leaf mill. Leaf mill means dried leaves. You feed in this machine and it will automatically come out, and its weight will be around 2.5 kg or 3 kg. That may be you are depending upon your selection of the product. So by machines automatic baler, you can see in the entire field this bales are presented in total entire field, that is collected by the machine and left, and it will be collected after that, finishing the whole process. And there may be some stationary balers, by similar to this mobile type of baling machine. Stationary balers can be used, but you have to keep raw material at the site, and this baling machine will be used for baling. crop residues of rice straw, even grasses, range grasses you can bale, and it will be collected at cap storage. See what is the height, about 3 meter, and what is the total collection of the material. This is called cap storage system. Cap means cover and plinth. It is not covered by now, but when it is covered by polythene of 1000 gauge, it will called cover and plinth. Plinth means on which this is stored, that is plinth storage system. And it is similar to FCI godowns, where you can see bags are stacking on the field itself on some platform and covered with some polythene of 1000 gauge. Then leaf mill technology, any proteinous leaves, if you are dried and keeping, that may be used for leaf mill. So leguminous crops, tree leaves harvested, dried to produce leaf. You can see subabul planted in the boundary of the field. It will be harvested and collected at the threshing yard, and it will be allowed for I think 2 days or 3 days is sufficient for the drying up. And by small jerking, these leaves are separated from the twigs of the subabul. So the leaves are then collected, and you may call it as a leaf mill. This leaf mill can be packed in the small packets of 1 kg or 2 kg, or even this can be pressed. By pressing, it may give around 2 to 3 kg of blocks, so that it can be easily handled. In case of Stylosanthes varieties or Hamata, Stylosanthes Hamata, Viscovra, many varieties, that you have to harvest it at full half flowering stage and dry it. After drying, because in this season, November, December, this type of commercial threshers are available, so you can thresh it and collect, and then you can bag or store like traditional storage structures. You can store this type of threshing Stylosanthes Hamata. So this type of leaf mill you can collect. Or even one more thing I have to say, that when you have extracted the seeds from Stylosanthes, the crop residue left, you can thresh it by threshing machine, and then that can also be used as a leaf mill. That is a plant mill. You can say it plant mill, and that has around 5 to 6 or 7% of protein in that dried material of Stylosanthes. Then leaf mill block, I'm telling just now that leaf mill without any fortification or mixing of molasses, you can make bales by hydraulic press machines. So that is very handy, 2 to 3 kg, just like Maggi. If you are opening Maggi, you can consume within 2 to 3 minutes. And in similar case, leaf mill, if you are opening this packet, you will directly feed your animal. So there are the leaf mill block technology, and you can see the demonstrations of fodder baling at the Avikanagar at our regional station, or even Palampur. We have demonstrated this baling technology. This is called movable type baling machine. It can move from field to field and can be collected. So this is also in field of the farmers, and it is stored at cover and plinth system. So there are one more thing, harvesting and chopping is also a problem in the crop residue collection or green fodder collection. So there are so many machinery nowadays are coming, and it will be given a lecture by Dr. Sahai tomorrow, I think. So manual you can harvest. There are serrated type this fodder harvester which will collect and remain in the field, and you have to collect afterward. So sitting type of harvesting machine is available, and chopping and loading. This may be collected directly in the field. So this is also used for oat collection of oat crop residue, and similar type of the machines are cutter bar type of machine. These are called, and they are used for Barsim harvesting and Napier, and this is I think Bajra or sorghum. This is Napier grass harvested by sickles in the field by our MGMG farmer. Then I told you that in the case of monsoon season, uh, the problem is that you have to have so many fodder. Fodder production is very high in monsoon season. So we have also tested at a prototype stage for evacuated type solar dryer. It has two chambers, and within the two chambers, this black tubes takes the air inside it, and the air heated, and while moving blower, the heated air goes inside these two plastic chambers, and there is a structure. This is called a structure on which Barsim or like that materials are loaded, and that is around 100 200 kg. But really, as per requirement, you can make this type of things, and you can dry within 2 days. You can load it after chopping also. So it is specially designed by our scientist at IGFRA Jhansi. And I think it is also available. It was established at IGFRA Jhansi from Philor, Ludhiana. So it is very easy, and I think he will fabricate for as per requirement. So next is feed pellet technology. Feed ingredients, you may take fine chopped stover, wheat bhusa, wheat extra you have to take, leguminous fodder or tree leaves, then some cake, wheat bran, mineral mixture and salt, all together will be mixed and feed to the feed pelleting machine, and with water you have to feed, and feed pellets will come out. It will be dried and can be stored. So there are, this is first machine is designed by our scientist at IGFRA Jhansi, and this last one is also designed by CIA Bhopal, and it can also be used for making pellets, energy pellets. Energy pellets means by mixing charcoal and some soil material, black soil, mixing together, and it will come out. So energy pellets you can made by same machine. So complete feed block, you can see here that there are 2 to 3 types of complete feed blocks. One is wheat straw mixed with molasses in the tractor trolley, and another is storing here, and it has molasses mixed with wheat straw and packed surrounding packed by the this grasses, so that it will not disturb. So there were so many tested we have conducted, and we decide different type of techniques to make the complete feed block of the using wheat straw. Then, so after this technology, you have to select which type of machines you need. So feed pelleting machine you may select. There may be feed mill. Feed mills means feed pellet machine is only single machine, but there may be so many operations after for making a feed pellets. That unit operations may be collection of feed material from one place to another, mixing all the ingredients together. So there may be requirement of mixer. You need some grinders because some powder materials are required to make. So the feed mill consists of many machines, 2, 3, 4 machines as per your requirement or as per your selection. It may include grinder, it may include mixer or pelleting machine or many things. So that is complete feed mill. It also includes a bucket elevator if you need, or screw conveyor you need. So feed mills may have different type of machines. So depending upon requirement, you may opt grinders, baling and densifying machine if you need. Then feed block making machine I have shown. Flail mower or straw reaper I have shown. Field balers are already available commercially, you can choose. And chopping machine, harvesting machine you can choose. Hay drying structures I told you, and threshers you can have. And we have also developed urea treatment device or attachment using commercial threshers. Just we put together two nozzles in front of the mouth of the wheat straw from where it comes out, and that nozzle spray the urea water mixture on the threshed material, and it will be collected and covered with some polythene for 21 days, and after that it is allowed for feeding. Then harvesting machines you can opt. So there are too many machines you can opt, or as per requirement or product or process what you have chosen. But as far as these machines are concerned, there may be some other essential facilities you need. There may be space for building and storage of final product or machinery, how and where you will store. Space for raw material you will need, working space for different activities like hay making you will need, water availability, power supply and backup, tractor power with trolley and other implements, fire protection device, because it will catch fire early if you are storing loose raw material, it may catch fire. There is so many risks. And analytical laboratory and others are required. Analytical laboratory means if you are giving some product, then you have to analyze your quality of your product. So analytical laboratory is must for these things. And I told different post-harvest operation mechanism like material handling, drying, storage, and transport and marketing system. All this affect the your quantity or quality. What you are doing and how you are doing, this affects your quality and quantity. So, being agriculture commodity, they are also affected by surrounding environment, because it gain water during the rainy season, it will lose when it is dry. So, you have to consider all these things. Your facility should be created as per requirement of your area. Then, if you have collected all these things, a complete data sheet for fodder bank on each unit operation is therefore essential. You have to make complete data sheet. Your market survey is also required for selling of the product, where you have to save. So there are so many business ideas you can opt. Regarding storage method, I told that traditional storage methods of wheat straw and paddy straw and cover and plinth storage I defined. So you can see storage capacity, this type of was 1100 to 1600 bales, weighing 13 to 32 ton per storage platform of 9 meter, 3 meter length, 9 meter length, 3 meter width, and 3 meter height. So you can accommodate this much quantity. And then points to establish, you have to, for your fodder bank, you need to know your capacity, how much capacity you have to accommodate, depending upon your animals, like draft animals, small, uh, coughing, yeah, large ruminants, or whatever you choose. Depending upon you will decide your capacity. Then purpose will also have to clearly identify according to the product type, time of storage and type of livestock. Process line, you know what we do, just यदि मैं कहूं कि यदि आपको रोटी बनाना है तो कितने चैनल से आपको पास होना पड़ेगा. तो फॉर मेकिंग रोटी you have to harvest your wheat, thresh it, clean it, then store in your house. Then after storing, you have to clean at on. Then after cleaning, you have to wash it, then dry it. After drying, you have to grind it. Then sifting. Sifting means separating uh, uh, some coarse material up in the sieves. So there are so many operations. These are called process operations. One by one, if you are writing down on a paper, simple paper, and making using arrow, if you are writing, that complete process is called process line. So when you are taking 100 kg material, raw material, and if you are processing all this 100 kg material, and if you are getting 95 kg as a final product, so this should you know where you are going to lose your material and how much energy you need in each step. Energy means not only electrical energy, but how much labor you are going to use spent in each unit operation. So all this you have to collect. Machine for each operation be identified. If you need machine, you identify, write, and make the matching capacity. Matching capacity means if you have grinding capacity of 100 kg per hour, it means before grinding, if you want to clean, the machine should have not less than 100 kg per hour capacity. So there are sequences of all the processing operations, and you have to follow all the sequences with material and energy balances. Then in between two operations, there are suitable material handling equipments. Like I told you that bucket elevator or even screw conveyors that can also be selected. Similarly, small tools, equipments you may select for handling. Then a list of all such equipments and machine whatever you need to be prepared with their cost, housing of this equipment, storing methods of raw material, and final product will be identified as per requirement and nature and type of material. And such houses are to be well electrified with power backup and water supply. So all this expenditure on purchasing raw material, manpower requirement, labor and supervisor, energy requirement are noted, and when you have completed all these things, you have noted all the requirement of the cost, then expected loan, because you cannot going to expend your own. You have to take some loan from banks or other agencies. So expected loans and taxes and insurance you have to be paid. So that could also be considered in the making costing. Then expected output with an assumption of 75 to 80% of plant efficiency is recorded for assessing the profit. So you have, if you are going to assess your profit, then expected output you have to be noted as 75 to 80%, because no plant runs at 100% capacity. You have to assume 75, 80 like that. And all these expenditure are grouped into different headings and are used. Different heading means there are some operational expenditure, there are capital expenditure. So all these are clubbed together, and after that you have to calculate process cost, cost benefit ratio, profit, and then break-even point. Break-even points means how many times you need to get back the complete expenses. And there are some other important operations you can see. And this is the model calculation for storage facility for creating buffer stock of feed and fodder resources. Just I made it for calculating 3 months for 100 for 1000 SCU, assuming that dry matter requirement for per adult cattle unit is around 10 to 12 kg. So dry roughage crop residue requirement per SCU is 70% or 8.5 kg, you can say. Moisture in roughage like straw, kadvi, hay, leaf mill is around 10%. Moisture in silage, if you are going to create facility for silage, then moisture will be around 60%. And approximate requirement of crop residues per SCU will be 9.5 kg. For total 1000, it will be around 9.5 or approximately 1000 tons. For 3 months, you can calculate for 90 days requirement of crop residues for 1000 SCU for lean period, maybe around 855 ton, and 20% you have to calculate as excess for storage. So 1000 ton for 3 months you can store up to a height of 4 meters. So these are type of crop residues. I have selected what type of crop residues you have to store. See, you can see particle size of wheat straw is threshed. Bales of paddy straw you have to store in form of bale. Kadvi means maize crop, sorghum crop, or bajra crop. You have to take a whole crop, whole dried crop. You call is kadvi. Hay loose you have to store, or silage you are planning to bagging silage in bags. So I have calculated for this requirement, and for that wheat straw we have contribution 50%, bales of paddy straw 15%, kadvi 15%, hay 10%, silage 10%. So all this total 100% storage we have to have stored are 5 items. Then wet to be stored dry basis calculation. Then wet basis. Wet basis means this is dry basis. 1000 ton dry basis we have to store, but there may be some still some moisture. In case of silage, you have to store 60%. There is 60% moisture. In other cases, there may be 10% moisture. So accordingly, the total material wet basis will be around 1250 ton material. So you have to take care of these items. And the density I have given, the volumetric space requirement calculated, and floor accordingly, floor area calculated. So for storing these 5 items, the storage area means floor area you need is 3300 ton meter square. It means you can calculate the plot size. If you are dividing 10 meter, if you are dividing by 10, it means 330 meter long or 10 meter width. So you can accordingly you can place with digits. Then component wise space requirement and costing I have also done. For permanent shed you need to store for wheat straw, kadvi, silage bags. You can calculate plinth area requirement, approximate I have calculated. Then cover and plinth storage for bales I have calculated. Loose storage on floor. If you want to store on floor loose store, then hay you have to store. Then working floor for fodder processing area, testing lab come office, machinery storage, whatever machine we need, that I have calculated, from weighing bridge to power operated chop cutter, field baler, fork lifter, tractor trolley, tractor harvester, chopper loader. All this floor space I have calculated. Total floor space requirement. And then for services, we need to have 20% of the space cost. That is total cost of facility will be 469 or 70 कह सकते हैं आप 470 लाख. It means अराउंड 5 लाख तो आपको कम से कम 5 करोड़ तो चाहिए ही आपको. So For steel equipment costing, that is a different type of machinery. If you want to specific strict on this model, you have to calculate this. For this machines, you need around 111 lakh rupees, and then total cost of storage and equipment required for handling 1,000 ton dry fodder. So total cost will be around 580 lakh, 5 करोड़ 80 लाख के करीब करीब आपका खर्च होगा। और ये इस तरीके से आप मॉडल स्टोरेज फैसिलिटी को हमने प्रपोज किया, इस तरीके से आप बनाकर स्टोर कर सकते हैं। IGFRI has also contributed for drought relief in the Bundelkhand area. Around we have supplied 11 ton bales of grasses and crop residues and around 10 quintal suitable leaf meal and stylo leaf meal given to drought affected district of Bundelkhand. Bundelkhand region means 3 districts: Jhansi, Lalitpur and Jaloni, UP, Uttar Pradesh. Similarly, we have also contributed for flood relief 700 grass bales, around 70 quintal, and 18 quintal suitable leaf meal was booked to flood affected district Saharsa, Bihar, when I think the year was around 2009, Kosi flood. And there are some issues. Wheat straw baling and packing, it is required because without binding agents it cannot be packed. And if you are using molasses, what farmer complain that molasses attracts the flies also, so that may be another issue during the rainy season. So this is a researchable issue. You can go through like that. And development of wheat straw based fodder blocks with blending leaf meal and leguminous adhesive. So this type of product you can make in drying up grasses. For monsoon grasses, we can adopt this type of structure for continuous time. And thanks.
Thanks, sir. So do you have any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
Any question if you need and not this time, then I can also reply on the email. My email, I think organizer will provide.
Okay, sir. I think there are no questions. Thank you very much, Dr. P.K. Pathak. On behalf, pardon.
Hello.
Okay, Narendra Kumar, please ask me the question.
Hello.
Hello.
Myself Dr. P.V. Singh from Maharashtra Pratap Agriculture University, Udaipur. Hello.
Hello, please ask your question.
For storage of green leaf of groundnut, which technology is suitable?
Storage of
Green leaf of groundnut.
green leaf, as such, you cannot store a green leaf. You have to dry all these things. Because
Okay, after dry.
yes, certainly after dry you can. Yes.
Okay. After dry we can store.
Because around 10% moisture in case of even if you are going to store grains also, 10% moisture is optimum. You cannot more than 10% of moisture.
Okay.
So you have to dry below 10%.
Okay, right, sir, right. Thank you, sir. Very nice presentation, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Any other question?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. P.K. Pathak, sir, on behalf of organizers, participants, NEDCL, and other members, for such an informative presentation. We are grateful for the time and effort you to share your thoughts and experience with the members. Thank you again for your time. We can leave now. The session is concluded. Thanks all. Thanks participants. Join tomorrow's session at 10:30. Okay, bye.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks.
Participants, you can left the session, so you can drop your call at the bottom.